Listen. Do you hear that? That sound? That tiny fire consuming wood and sulfur? Let me ask you something simple. Where does the heat come from? You might say, well, it comes from the match, from the wood. And that seems reasonable, obvious even. The match burns, heat appears, case closed. But here's the thing. That answer is physically impossible. Let's do an experiment, a thought experiment. Take that match. Before you light it, weigh it. Let's say it weighs exactly 1 gram. Now burn it completely. Collect every bit of ash, every molecule of smoke, every atom that remains. Weigh it again. It weighs less. Not the same, less. Some of it escaped into the air as carbon dioxide and water vapor. But here's what matters. If you could collect everything, every atom, every molecule, the total weight would be exactly the same as before. Mass is conserved, always. This is law. So if nothing was lost, if the atoms are all still there, just rearranged, where did the energy come from? Energy cannot be created. This is the first law of thermodynamics. It's not a suggestion. It's not a theory. It's as fundamental to our universe as time itself. Energy cannot appear from nothing. And yet, heat appears, light appears. The heat you feel on your face right now is a ghost. It's not coming from the match, not really. The match is just a door, a gateway. That heat, that light, that warmth on your skin, it's something older, something that has been waiting, stored, imprisoned for decades. To understand fire, we have to go backward, way backward. We need to follow a trail that begins not in a fireplace, not in a forest, but 93 million miles away. But first, we need to meet a man who weighed a tree. Brussels, the year 1600. There's a man standing in his garden, staring at a pot of soil. His name is Jan Baptista van Helmont. He's a physician, a chemist, a mystic. And he has a question that will haunt him for 5 years. He weighs the soil, 200 pounds exactly. He plants a willow sapling, 5 pounds, and waters it. Nothing else, just water. For 5 years, he tends this tree, measures it, records everything. At the end of 5 years, he cuts down the tree, removes it carefully, shakes every bit of soil back into the pot. He weighs the tree, 169 pounds. The soil? Still 200 pounds, minus 2 ounces. Where did 164 pounds of tree come from? It didn't come from the soil. The soil was still there. He watered it, yes, but water is light. Water is hydrogen and oxygen. The tree is solid, dense, wood. Van Helmont concluded the tree came from the water. He was close. What he didn't know, what nobody knew for another 200 years, is that trees don't grow from the ground at all. They grow from the air. Picture this. Really see it. A seed falls. It cracks open. A root reaches down, yes, but only for water, for minerals. The body of the tree, the wood, the mass, the tons of matter that will become trunk and branch and leaf, it breathes itself into existence. Carbon dioxide, invisible. everywhere. The tree pulls it from the air, splits it apart, takes the carbon, releases the oxygen, atom by atom, molecule by molecule, year by year. That willow tree Van Helmont weighed? It was made of air, solidified air. The invisible made visible. But here's the deeper question. Splitting carbon dioxide apart requires energy, tremendous energy. You're breaking molecular bonds, some of the strongest forces in nature. So where did that energy come from? The answer is hanging above you, right now, 93 million miles away. The sun. At its core, 4 million tons of matter are converted into energy every second. Hydrogen atoms slam together, fuse, become helium. And in that fusion, mass becomes light. Einstein's equation, E equals mc squared. One of those photons, just one among trillions upon trillions, escapes the sun's surface. It's been bouncing around inside for thousands of years, but now it's free. It travels. For 8 minutes and 20 seconds, it crosses the void. 93 million miles of empty space. Nothing touches it. Nothing stops it. Until a leaf. The photon strikes a molecule of chlorophyll. This is not a gentle encounter. This is a collision. The photon's energy, the energy from the sun's core, gets absorbed, captured. Here's what happens next, and this is extraordinary. Inside that leaf, the photon's energy is used to tear apart a water molecule. Hydrogen and oxygen, violently separated. The oxygen escapes, becomes the air you're breathing right now. The hydrogen? It's used to rip apart carbon dioxide. Think of it like a rubber band. In its natural state, a rubber band just sits there, relaxed, low energy. But if you stretch it, if you pull it apart and hold it there, you've put energy into it. That energy is stored, waiting. Carbon and oxygen want to be together. It's their natural state. But the tree, powered by that photon, tears them apart and holds them there. The glucose molecule the tree makes, the cellulose in the wood, they're stretched rubber bands. That photon, that specific packet of sunlight that left the sun 8 minutes before it hit the leaf, its energy is now locked inside the wood, trapped for decades. The tree grows, seasons pass, years become decades, 50 years, 100. That energy sits there, patient, suspended in molecular bonds. It sits in a fireplace, a battery, fully charged, waiting for the circuit to close. And then, someone strikes a match. The match touches the kindling. Heat begins to spread. Now, here's what heat is at the atomic level. Temperature is motion. The hotter something is, the faster its atoms vibrate. When the match flame touches the wood, it's transferring that vibration, atom to atom, molecule to molecule. The wood heats up. The molecules vibrate faster, faster. And then, they vibrate so fast that the bonds break. The rubber band snaps back. Carbon and oxygen, held apart for 50 years, slam back together. They want this. It's their lowest energy state. And when they reunite, all that stored energy is released. The light you see? That's sunlight from 50 years ago. The heat on your face? That's the sun's heat, stored in wood, released in an instant. Richard Feynman used to say, when you burn a log, you're unwinding the work that sunlight did decades ago. You're watching photosynthesis in reverse. The oxygen you breathe out of the air reunites with the carbon in the wood. And in that reunion, the energy, the same energy that was used to pull them apart, comes flooding back. Every flame is a time machine. Every fire is old sunlight, finally coming home. Which means the food you ate is made of carbon. Carbon that was pulled from the air by photosynthesis. Carbon that was separated from oxygen using sunlight. Stretched rubber bands, stored energy. And when you eat, when you digest, when that food enters your cells and meets the oxygen you just breathed in, the exact same reaction happens. Carbon reunites with oxygen. The bonds release their energy. The rubber band snaps back. Your body temperature, 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, is the heat of that reaction. Your cells are tiny controlled fires. The only difference between you and a campfire is time. A log burns in hours. You burn over decades. But the chemistry, identical. So let's trace it back. The glucose in your blood right now came from plants. Those plants built it using sunlight. That sunlight came from fusion in the sun's core. Hydrogen atoms that formed 4.5 billion years ago, shortly after the Big Bang, finally colliding, finally releasing the energy that was locked inside them since the universe began. The energy moving through your body right now is older than the Earth, older than the solar system. You are not separate from the universe. You're not even just in the universe. You are the universe. Every atom in your body was forged in the heart of a dying star. Every breath you take connects you to every plant on Earth. Every heartbeat is powered by sunlight that fell on a leaf somewhere, sometime, and got trapped. We are not the masters of nature, looking at it from outside. We are made of it. We are arrangements of matter that learned to think. We are collections of atoms that became conscious. And we are burning, slowly, beautifully, one breath at a time. So, back to that match. Where does the heat come from? From the sun, 93 million miles away, 8 minutes in the past, or 50 years, or 100. The tree captured it, held it, waited, and now it's free. Fire is not destruction, not really. It's liberation. It's the universe returning to balance. We are passengers on that flow, surfing entropy. And when we burn, whether in seconds with fire or over decades with breath, we're just letting that energy continue its journey. From the sun, through the plant, through the wood, or through us, and back out into the universe. So tonight, if you light a candle, or sit by a fire, or even just take a breath, remember, you are touching the sun. You are witnessing time. You are participating in a cycle that connects you to stars that died before the Earth was born. The world is not just amazing because of what we can do with it. It's amazing because of what it is. And you are part of that. You are stored sunlight.